What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about the fact that Fabrizio Romano, the very reliable journalist, said that Liverpool are offered the chance to sign Sokratis Papastatopoulos, who became a free agent after terminating his contract with Arsenal, and he's offered to Liverpool because Liverpool are in desperate need of signing a centre-back, and on a 6-month deal. I think this makes a lot of sense. This is what Fabrizio Romano said on his podcast. He's offered to Liverpool, you know what that? Liverpool were looking for an opportunity and he's offered to Liverpool, but at the moment he's not an option, but Liverpool are still undecided. Because of his relationship with Jurgen Klopp, Sokratis could be an option for Liverpool, and he could be an opportunity, Romano said. He was an opportunity because he was offered to Liverpool, and at the moment Liverpool have not decided yet whether they are signing a centre-back or not. They are still in the middle of the situation, so nothing has been decided. But Jurgen Klopp actually cried for help from the owners in his recent press conference against Manchester United. He said, "So I'm not a 5-year-old kid anymore, and if I don't get what I want, I don't start crying. Most of the time in my life I didn't get what I wanted, so I'm pretty much used to that. We talk about the centre half, and yes, it would help 100%. We discuss the situation pretty much on a daily basis and I make recommendations, but I cannot spend the money. I don't make these decisions. There are people who are responsible for the whole thing and I cannot make their decisions." So basically Jurgen Klopp is saying he would sign a centre-back if he was up to him, but he is not making the transfer decisions. He just can make recommendations, and I think Sokratis on a 6-month deal would be a no-brainer. It's like a win-win situation. Even if it doesn't work out, his contract expires at the end of the season, and he must be better than Reece Williams or Nathaniel Phillips because of his experience alone. Yes, he's slow, yes, he's 32 years old. Jurgen Klopp is very reluctant to play Reece Williams or Nathaniel Phillips. He started Jordan Henderson of all people at centre-back alongside Fabinho, and after Arsenal have released the Greek defender who used to play for Jurgen Klopp under Borussia Dortmund, we can sign a Sokratis right now for absolutely nothing, for no fee. Just need to pay his wages, which is very affordable. He's not on very high wages, and the option of Sokratis and Joao Matip in some games at the back, bringing Fabinho and Henderson into midfield, surely would be a better option than what Liverpool have right now. And also, he would be an insurance policy. What if something happens to Fabinho? What if Fabinho gets a 1-month injury? Then our top 4 hopes are over. And yes, he's down our perfect list of candidates for a centre-back, but remember, this wouldn't be a long-term transfer. He won't sign a 5-year contract. He's better than signing nobody, and I think if Liverpool are so skint that the owners don't want to spend any money, sign a free agent like Sokratis. He's better than nothing, and Jurgen Klopp knows him, he knows Jurgen Klopp, he knows the Premier League as well. And one transfer expert said, "I wouldn't have said this at the start of the season. In fact, I would have laughed at the suggestion. But right now, I would take Sokratis at Liverpool. He's free, he has got Premier League experience, and he has played for Jurgen Klopp. Is he good? Like, not really. But is he better than what we have in terms of actual centre-back options? Yes. It's harsh on Reece Williams and Nat Phillips, but Klopp has made up his mind on the pair as short-term options by the fact he's now playing both Fabinho and Jordan Henderson at the back, and we need them in midfield. Sokratis, for the games in which we dominate possession, he will do just fine. And Sokratis is a very, very experienced centre-back. As I said, he already played for Jurgen Klopp. He played for Borussia Dortmund for 5 seasons in the Bundesliga, playing around 40 games each season, and also in his first season he played 40 games for Arsenal. In his second season he played 29 games. One issue could be his match fitness, because he wasn't registered in the Arsenal Premier League squad for the first half of the season, so he sat out the first half of the season, and he is now looking at clubs that would take him. Real Betis and Genoa are also interested in him. And is it better to play Sokratis than Henderson in defense? You could argue because of the benefit of what Henderson would do for Liverpool in midfield. We have missed Henderson when he's not playing in the midfield, and I think having Sokratis at the back would free up Henderson to play in the midfield, and also it would give us some options to maybe rotate the centre-backs just a little bit, because basically when Fabinho and Matip are fit, they have to play every single game between now and the end of the season. And what happens when Matip gets injured again? Because that is not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when. It's almost certain that Matip will pick up a knock, will pick up an injury sooner or later. What happens then? What if we have to play Manchester City or Everton or Leipzig in the Champions League with Fabinho and either Henderson or Reece Williams or Nathaniel Phillips? And if we have to play, I mean, Jurgen Klopp already made his mind up that Phillips and Williams are not good enough. So he will play Henderson alongside Fabinho, and we will miss two of our best midfielders because they have to play in defense, and that's absolutely ridiculous situation for Liverpool to find themselves in. And both Williams and Phillips have been in and around the first team for the majority of the season, and their understanding of how their teammates play only improved by the day and with each training session. If a new signing was to arrive like Sokratis, yes, they may bring in more quality, but they would be starting from scratch, which is not an ideal situation in the middle of the season. So of course there are a lot of cons and a lot of pros to signing Sokratis or not signing him. You have to factor in the financial gamble that any new signing would have. Sokratis is on very moderate wages, so it wouldn't be a big financial outlay even for a club like the size of Liverpool. But it's pretty obvious that Liverpool need a centre-back, but finding one who can improve them significantly may not be as easy as it seems, because it's the January transfer window. All the best players are tied down in their clubs, and they are fighting for trophies, titles or Champions League places. So no club wants to let go their great defender in the middle of the season. And Jamie Carragher was very blunt. He said in a column in the Telegraph newspaper, "I believe that Liverpool's response should have been activated on October the 19th, the day Virgil van Dijk's cruciate knee operation was confirmed. Hindsight is unnecessary. I said then, I did not think Liverpool could win the league unless they had a new centre-back in place on January the 1st. They needed one even before Joe Gomez was injured. Him and Joel Matip's appearance record was informative of that. Frankly, it is preposterous that 3 months on, and with the transfer window now open, Jurgen Klopp felt compelled to use Jordan Henderson as a centre-back against Manchester United. And yes, Fabinho has been outstanding. He would be more influential in midfield. It has caused a chain reaction throughout the team. Maybe the club thought that Jurgen Klopp is so good he can overcome any situation. If so, the last few weeks are a reality check for Liverpool. At the moment, these issues look just too many at the same time and too much to overcome in order to meet the highest ambitions, which is to retain the Premier League title. And I fully agree with Jamie Carragher. That's the biggest issue with Liverpool. Taking Fabinho out from the midfield and also playing a totally different centre-back pairing in almost every game has had a chain reaction throughout the team. We can't play the same way because we don't have two of the fastest centre-backs in the Premier League, Van Dijk and Joe Gomez. That's where Liverpool were so comfortable, because they knew that even if they didn't score in the first half an hour, 45 minutes, we were almost impenetrable at the back. We never gave away many chances, and we knew that sooner or later we would break down the opposition, and that's how we won the title last season. We grinded out win after win after win, and most of them weren't really spectacular. Most of them were one-goal wins, but they were wins, and we won like 26 of the first 27 games last season with Joe Gomez and Van Dijk. The majority of the time they were the two centre-backs, and I think this season, with both of them absent, it has completely disrupted the whole Liverpool style of play. And what puzzles me is why not bring in a loan deal? If you don't have money to sign a centre-back, permanently, why not sign somebody on loan? Sokratis or Eder Militao, or just somebody that can help Jurgen Klopp. It's so arrogant of the Liverpool owners and the Liverpool hierarchy to think that Jurgen Klopp is a magician and he can solve any problem, any issue all the time, because he needs help. And this past month has been evident. We haven't scored a goal for a month in the Premier League now, 4 games. And yes, you could say that's not about the centre-backs, but it is. The whole team's style of play is disrupted because of the centre-backs, because of Fabinho and sometimes even Henderson taken out from the midfield. So it's a must for Liverpool to sign a centre-back, in my opinion. And Paul Merson criticized Jurgen Klopp's team selection against Burnley, that he shouldn't have rested Salah and Firmino or dropped them. He should have started them and score 2 goals against Burnley and then take them all off. That's what he said. He said, it's easy to say it now, but Jurgen Klopp got his team selection horribly wrong. When you're struggling like Liverpool are, you play your best team. My problem is with that, he played his best team in the previous 3 games and Liverpool haven't scored a goal. So he was entitled to rotate a little bit. And also, we want to take the FA Cup seriously this season. That might be our best chance to win a trophy. And we want to play our best team against Man United, and of course after that we have to play our best team against Tottenham. So probably Jurgen Klopp felt that this is the one game where he can rotate a little bit. That's just my comment, but Paul Merson said Divock Origi isn't going to win Liverpool league titles, no disrespect. If he was better than Salah or Firmino, he would be playing every week. If he scores that chance in the first half, then the game would have been over. Jurgen Klopp knows how hard this league is. He knows he has got to put his best team out. Burnley's last 4 games had all finished 1-0. They don't get into big open football matches. They aren't gung-ho. Things are tight. They are great defensively. They have an unbelievable goalkeeper. You play your best forwards because you are not going to get a load of chances. Jurgen Klopp got it wrong. You play your top players, score 2 goals, and then you take them off. But doesn't how always works here on the football pitch. Paul Merson also said this: Jurgen Klopp has never won the FA Cup, and he might want to win it. Who knows? But as long as Man City are in it, that's going to be hard. To a large extent, the FA Cup is won by the draw you get. Who is to say Liverpool won't be drawn away at Man City, Chelsea or Tottenham in future rounds and find it hard to win the cup? I would be really shocked if he played his strongest team at Manchester United on Sunday. I would have played them against Burnley and then given them a rest ahead of next week's trip to Tottenham. Jurgen Klopp probably would have watched the FA Cup going up. It was the ultimate back in the day, but it's not now. I would be disappointed if he played Salah and Firmino at Old Trafford, because Liverpool need to now get a result next week at Spurs after losing to Burnley, win at Tottenham, and Liverpool will forget about that 5-game winner's run, and the confidence will start coming back and the pressure will come off a group of players who look a little bit shot. For all the good players Liverpool have got, when that title-winning midfield 3 of Henderson, Fabinho and Wijnaldum isn't playing in midfield, they are not the same team. Those 3 are the unsung heroes of Liverpool's recent success. They are the engine that makes everything else happen. Thiago is a top player and makes the game look very easy, but he is not that kind of player. If you want to win the Champions League, then Thiago plays and dictates the game, but when you are in the hustle and bustle of the Premier League, it's a different game. Don't get me wrong, Thiago is not to blame for Liverpool's dip in form. He has come into a team at a time when they are really struggling. The one thing Liverpool were last season that they are not this year is consistent in their lineup. Last season everyone could name a Liverpool starting lineup. It almost never changed. They were the best team in the world without the ball. When one went, they all went pressing. Now all of a sudden 4 or 5 injuries and chopping and changing of positions means they don't know when to press as a unit like they used to. There is no closing down, it's non-existent, and I hardly see them winning the ball back ever, really. And if you look back to the game against West Brom before Christmas, that typifies how hard it is to defend the title. Having already won the league, Liverpool became a little bit like lackadaisical when confronted with a game that was easy. Now if they hadn't won the league yet and they were chasing their first title, there was no way West Brom would have got back into that game. Liverpool had luck on their side more often than not last season, but this year it's gone the other way recently. That has contributed to the run they are on, and while on that run, other teams, Man City, Man United, have had major runs in the opposite direction. Man City winning 6 games in a row, Man United winning like 6 games out of 7 or something like that. It's been a double whammy for Liverpool, and this run is taking a toll on Jurgen Klopp and his players. They have been so great of the past few years. Now the players are all making the wrong decisions, and that's all about confidence. These players are experiencing something they have never been through. Most of Liverpool's players came into the team, hit the ground running, won the Champions League and the Premier League. They had never lost a league game at Anfield until last night. There were 6 Liverpool players who never lost a league game at Anfield before Burnley. And it's in difficult moments like these where players have to play their way out of it. This is when great players get themselves out of this situation. This is why the likes of Ryan Giggs, Roy Keane, David Beckham, Paul Scholes, all of those players earned such a good reputation, because if they did have a bad run, and trust me, they all did, they were out of it and they were great again a few weeks after. You have only got to look at the figures Liverpool have put up over the last 2 seasons to know they are still in this title race. A 6 points gap for a side capable of winning 10 games in a row. Liverpool can click like this at any moment and they can be right back up there. Why I don't certainly 100% believe that is because of Liverpool's injuries. We on average have 6 players missing from every game in terms of main first team players, and that's a lot for any team to cope with. And Jurgen Klopp, he thinks that the Burnley defeat can provide a spark for Liverpool and we can bounce back against Manchester United. He said, I have to change the way I tell the boys, and then we have to change the way we play. Confidence is nothing naturally given to normal people, at least, so some things have to work out so that you can build confidence. That's how it is, and it didn't work out against Burnley, at least in the final third and even in the last few games. I don't have 5 million different words for the same issue, that's why I only can use one. Maybe there are other words which you could describe it better, but we didn't get the results now for a few weeks that we wanted, and parts of the game were absolutely good enough, parts of the game were not, so we have to keep going with the things that were good enough and we have to improve the others. That's the way. And Jurgen Klopp also spoke about the unbeaten run being ended at Anfield in the Premier League. Honestly, we didn't feel that pressure. It was just an opportunity. In this specific case, we never spoke about the number or stuff like this. Yes, it's an incredible number, 68. It's great, but it's gone now. We can start a new series 100%. And against Man United, it's a different competition. We want to go through, and for that we have to play really well, because obviously Man United is in a good moment and they get all the results they wanted so far. That's why we have to be ready 100%. I'm actually looking forward to Man United, the FA Cup game, because it's another opportunity for Liverpool to finally score a goal and get a win. And to knock Man United out of the FA Cup would be the perfect confidence booster that Liverpool need ahead of the Tottenham game. Liverpool just absolutely have to get out of this slump. Otherwise, our season could go down the drain and our season could be over by the time we play Manchester City in the Premier League, which is on February the 7th, I think. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about all the topics that we talked about. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.